Purnamaste, Purnamaste, and everybody welcome to the Art of the Word that I am. And as always, we will dive deep. Art of the Word that I am all about assisting you through your ascension process so you can embody your divine, greatest, multidimensional self. Just some guidance on your path. In this video, I want to speak about shadow work. I want to speak about dark night of the soul. This 12/12 portal and Gemini full moon, which is actually my full moon in my sign, has a little bit dark tone to it. And this time you may feel some negative thoughts that you thought you dealt with already, some fears, some attachments. You may feel like you want to run back into old ways. There may be some sadness, some trauma comes out, some depression, some darkness. Drama related to attachments with people, the things that are not good for us. Things in our life may pop, that we face them, that we see what we are lacking within ourselves. Maybe it is time of such little bit tests. It's not really festival time. I'm telling you, this is energy to go deep, to dive deep down into our deepest shadows, so we can get that greatest treasures out of our deepest shadows. And that's what shadow work is all about. I mean, these attachments are keeping us attached to the things that are keeping us in darkness, keeping us in 3D, keeping us in what doesn't feel right, in low vibration. These fears and traumas are making us run away from what our heart desires, from who we are, always running back to our false self, into that darkness. And these are the causes of all our suffering in this world. That separation within, that attachment, that guilt, that trauma, that fear. And we want to embody new, divine, greater self. And this is a free will zone. Nobody can do it instead of you. So we have been for thousands and thousands, eons and eons, in the separation, in the darkness, and false self, programmed with traumas, fears, attachments. It's ego, it's guilt. And now we have to release it. We have to release it. And this video will be about also how you release your attachments, your fears. That crazy monkey mind. And we can do it only by free will, by the choice of the free will. But as many want to stay attached, want to follow their fears, want to follow their guilt, want to follow their attachments, and like this, don't want to let go of expectations, of control, and playing a victim, and like this. But on the soul level, in the soul, you have chosen to let go of this shit, to let go of the false self, because this false self, these attachments, these fears, these programs, beliefs in the mind that you are following, this guilt, this dependency is creating all the suffering and what is not in alignment in your life, everything what you want to get free of. It's creating so much resistance and so much suffering, And We have chosen on the soul level to let go, like their lack mentality within, fears within, attachments. But we don't want to let go. But we want to be happy. We want to be enlightened. We want to embody our greatest divine version. And then in experience, in inner turbulations, in inner darkness, in dark night of the soul, in experience of all the suffering and all the craziness of attachments, in experience of all this karma that follows, what is happening? And all this experience, through how we go through our darkness, when we suffer inside, when we are depressed, when we feel anxious, when we are, it's highlighting. And when we are in drama with somebody who are attached, we are attached on and we cannot let go of them, and they are not giving us that love, and we are dependent on them. And we can experience the suffering of that attachment. When we follow our fears, when we follow our mind, when we follow this darkness in our mind that we cannot let go, we experience anxiety, suffering, drama. So, in direct experience, it is shown to us how our attachments, our mind, our guilt, our fears, especially attachments and dependency, we follow our mind, how this darkness within actually that we want to ascend, but we don't want to let go, and it actually showing us in direct experience, in direct realization, direct experience, you experiencing that it's creating suffering in your life, that it hurts, that it's a depression, that it's anxiety, that it's resistance. It is shown in your life, in direct experience, what that darkness, that attachment, that fear, that old beliefs, what they are creating. And that's why depression comes. That's why anxiety comes. That's why we lose power and we go into darkness. Because in the free will zone, nobody can force us. Nobody can make us. Source cannot make us to choose to ascend, to choose to let go of our false self, to choose to let go of our attachments, our fears, our ego. No, we have to choose by ourselves. But many don't want to. They want to be happy, they want to they want to have happy life and happy world, but they want to keep these attachments. They want to keep these expectations. They want to keep their karma. They want to keep that blame and that fears. And in the soul level, they have chosen to let go. So now the only way that they can let go is direct experience in the dark night of the soul, of that darkness, of that suffering, of that feeling of depression, anxiety, being hopeless, being not getting that love from another, that lack in life that's experienced. So we can understand this attachment, this lack within us, these fears, these beliefs, these expectations, these traumas. We have to heal, we have to let go, because this is causing the dark night of the soul, the depression, the anxiety, the hopelessness. Yeah. And in direct experience, Source shows us when we experience, when we feel like shit, when we do not get what we expect, when we are all anxious and want to control, when we are depressed, that we actually have to let go of that attachment. of that ego, of that expectations. You know, it's dark night of the soul is actually when you got awakened to your higher self. But you are still attached to the lower self and activities and attachment to the lower self. That these things have brought you so much pleasure and so much joy, they have given you happiness in life before. But now they are bringing you suffering, pain, emptiness. They are not giving you same joy and same pleasure anymore. They are not giving you no pleasure anymore. And you know this in your dark night of the soul. But you are still attached and you cannot let go. But you realize that this is the cause of your suffering and that you have to let go. But you are still enough and not enough connected and enough awakened in your higher self, in your true self. You know, to operate from your true self, from your higher self. But you are still attached to that lower reality and that attachment, but you cannot go back. You cannot let go of it. But you cannot go back because you have tasted the reality of your soul, the bliss, the truth, the love, the higher dimension, the higher consciousness. And you cannot go back, but you are not anchored there high in your true self enough. And you are realizing in the darkness, in the dark night of the soul, that this is actually causing you suffering. And it's just for the reason that you realize that underneath that darkness, underneath that shadows, underneath everything that you are not, they are your greatest treasures. And if you let go of this, you will be that great divine being, and you will have that, we will have that great divine life and do that greatest things. But that attachment, that karma, that false self, that expectations, it's keeping us from it. And we experience the dark night of the soul so that we can really let go. And we experience dark night of the soul because this is a free will zone. This is a free will zone, babies. And we have to choose by our free will zone. And that's why we have to experience the darkness. We have to experience the suffering. We have to experience the depression, the anxiety, the lack, the fears. So we can understand, no. The kingdom is within. I have to release this. I have to release this. And we can only choose by free will. Nobody can force us. That's how it is, you know. The dark night of the soul is a blessing. You can dive deep in your darkness and you let go of your attachments, your fears. But there's a catch. How can you let go of your attachments? How can you control? How can you resist your attachments? How can you stop your negative thinking? And this attachment, and this monkey mind, and these fears, and these beliefs that are coming in the mind. Well, you cannot. Because more you try to control, more you try to forcefully stop these thoughts, you cannot. More you identify with it, more you enhance it, becomes more fear, more depression, more anxiety, more resistance, because you are offering more resistance. You are offering more resistance, more control. But letting go is about letting go of the resistance, letting go of the control, realizing that you are not your attachments, you are not your ego, you are not your fear. You can never stop it. You have to stop giving them attention, giving them power. So how to release your attachments and your fears and your guilt? Well, Buddha said, it's like breathing. If you breathe in, you hold on to your breath, you don't want to let it out, you're holding on, controlling. you will die in great suffering. But you just let go your lungs and let the air out. No control, no resistance. And you allow, and the breath is to come to you. It's natural. More you resist, you will die. You want to stop that fears, that negative thoughts, that, you want to stop the attachments coming in you, the expectations. You cannot. But you can just let go. Let it go. You cannot stop them. But just stop yourself. You do not identify with it. That means you are not holding on to it. You know, I am not that. I am that. I am in my heart. You breathe in, you go in your heart, you go in your body. This fear, this attachment, it's not who I am. It's just attachment. It's just fear. You don't identify with it. You know. You cannot stop it. But what you have to do, when your fears come up, you have to control yourself. Fears will come up, negative thoughts will come up. These things will come up, the attachments and everything. Because healing takes year process, layer after layer of natural releasing. And you cannot just expect that if today you are full of ego, full of attachment, full of fear, full of blame, that tomorrow you are to be ascended master. It goes naturally. It goes gradually. And you may go some time having this attachment, having this fear. You know, having this attachment, having this fear, having this blame, having these beliefs, these negative thoughts that are creating depression, anxiety, hopelessness, dark night of the soul. But you realize you are not that. You work on yourself. And what means you work on yourself? You dive deep into these fears, into this trauma, into these beliefs, into these attachments. You experience them, reevaluate them. You identify a little bit with them. You're being a victim. So you realize, you go in, you understand it. These are the causes of my suffering. And so you realize, this is not who you are. You work on them, you understand them. By going deep in yourself, taking time in yourself. But you know, and that's most important. What it is that you don't follow them. Because now you deal with them, you go deep within your shadow work, in your silence, in the darkness. And you understand this will need some healing, these attachments, this fear, this blame, this false self, this ego, this guilt, this shit. But you control yourself. You cannot control your mind and your false self. But you can control yourself. When fears are telling you, go back into the matrix, don't follow your heart. Follow your fear, all afraid, in panic. You say no. You are shaking, but you say no. I will follow my heart. I will have courage to have trust and have faith in what is in my heart. I'll not follow my fears. I'll not follow my worst scenarios in the mind and back to the darkness. You have courage not to follow. You know, the attachments may be calling you. Expectations. You want to control. You want to blame. But you work on yourself. You understand that this is causes of all your suffering. And if you follow them, then you will go back into the matrix. You will go back into that life that you want to get free of. You release your attachments. You let go of your attachments, your beliefs, your fears, by letting go, by not holding on, by not following it. Oh, I'm attached. I will work to let go of this attachment and dependency. I will not go blame them, try to control them, expect from them, try to make it happen. But you work on yourself. You go deep within yourself. Shadow work with love. You go within. You say to your attachments, thank you. You were teaching me about how attachments in this world take away all the freedom and create anxiety and suffering and emptiness. Just to teach me that I am whole and complete within myself. And I have to let go. And I love you. And thank you for teaching me this. But now I let you go. You understand? Your fears. My dear fear. My dear guilt. I know you were teaching me about this world. About the danger. About that you don't exist. About if I follow my fear and my guilt, I will suffer in darkness. I have learned that. I have learned that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I don't need you anymore. I'm grateful. You taught me that I have nothing to be afraid of, and I should follow my heart. And you every day go deep within yourself. You speak to your trauma. You speak to your fears, to your beliefs, to your attachments. And you are strong and you control yourself not to follow your fears, not to follow your attachments, not to follow your insecurity, your traumas, your beliefs, your blame, your guilt. No. But you choose to follow what is right for you. You choose to follow what is right for you. You know. You don't identify with it. You dive deep to deal with it, to heal it, to reevaluate it. It came out for evaluation so you can experience the darkness, the aftermath of it. So you can say, I don't want this. So you can say, no, this is the cause of my suffering. I have to let go of this. You don't follow it. And as you work on yourself, and you follow what's best for you, not your fears, not your attachments, you are letting go. You are releasing, you are healing. You're not identifying with it. You're not following with it. You're not trying to stop it and control it. You just know I'm not that. I let you go like bread. And gradually, you're to be free of your attachment, your ego, your fear. And that's what the dark night of the soul is all about. And do that. Go deep within yourself. Talk to your fears, talk to your attachments. Be grateful, but tell them that they are causing suffering in your life and you have learned about that suffering. Now you can choose something better. Let them go with love. Let them go with love. More you resist, try to control them, stop them, more they persist. What you resist persists. But you have to offer no resistance, no control. I'm not that. This is the false program. I let go. How I heal my attachments. I let go of my attachments and my fears. By being strong, by not following my attachments, what my attachments wanted from me. But staying in. And no, my attachment is strong, is calling me there in hell. No, I stay here. And you stay here once, you stay here twice, you stay here thrice, and that's how you train yourself. And it loses power, it's released. My fear's same. I didn't choose to. And when I let go of my attachment, I became happy and free. And when you get a realization that actually this suffering, this attachment was the cause of all your suffering. And now when you're free, you don't suffer dependent on others, seeking energy of others. You're whole and complete, and now you taste that freedom. You don't want to get attached anymore. That's how you learn. How I let go of my fears. By not following my fear, by have courage to have trust and have faith. To follow trust and faith in what is in my heart. And in this way, fear losing power, and train myself to follow my heart with courage. And as I follow my heart in trust, in gratitude, in faith, it always works out in a way the universe tells me I should follow my heart. That's how you let go. When you don't follow it, you don't identify with it, you see it's there, it's dark. You follow your heart, you follow love that you are in your heart. That's how you heal your attachments. That's how you let go of your fears. Because then you see they are not real. And when you have courage, follow your heart, you see that good things are happening. And you get your power. And the universe gives you blessings. And then you can see that if you follow your heart, not your fear, it's the best for you. And that's how you gain trust and faith, and fear loses power. That's how you let go. You focus on something better, but you have to deal with it. And meditation. Meditation is most important. If you're going through dark night of the soul, meditate your way in meditation. I made a whole video about meditation. Watch that, maybe you get some instructions. But your way, how you meditate, this is the right way for you. That takes you in a moment, that takes you within. You have to find your own way. And you meditate. Because in meditation, you align with your true self, with source that I am, with your higher self. And you are integrating and aligned, embodying your divine true self. In meditation, you are in your true self, and you can understand in meditation, you can get the realization how these fears, these attachments, this blame and this expectation on everything is creating suffering in your life. You know, in meditation you get the experience. You can get the realization. You can know it. So then you can easily let go. And in meditation you are aligned with your true self, not in your false self. And that's why more you meditate, more you are aligned and embodied in your true self, and more you are releasing your false self, your attachments, your fears. Because in meditation you integrate your true self and you go on the sun, you embody, integrate the light codes. You ground yourself. You release that shit in nature. Meditate in nature. Take your shoes off. Meditate that you are releasing. But in meditation you are aligned with your true self, and you can recognize your false self, your attachments, your beliefs, your fears, so you don't follow them anymore. So you can stop identifying with them. You are in the moment now. Nothing else exists. You are that moment now. Nothing else exists but that moment, and you are that moment now. And in meditation, you are that moment. You are that I am. And you realize these attachments, these beliefs, these fears are not who I am. You release them very easily if you meditate. And you go in nature, be on the sun. Because sun purifies out all the darkness. Mother Nature takes to the soles of our feet down in her heart. She transmutes us into love, all our darkness, all our attachments, everything. That's why I'm so much in Mother Nature. Every day. Meditating. sun gaze. Be on the sun. The light coats of your divine self are pouring from the sun to be integrated in your divine being, so you can embody your crystalline, human, divine structure in your body. Work on yourself, meditate, dive deep into your shadows, into your darkness. Talk to them, love them, give them, don't love them, give them love, and release them with love. If you love them, somebody may think you have to keep them. I mean, love them, release them with love. Meditate, work on yourself. Don't be a victim. What they have done to me, they cheated me, they are not returning my calls, they promised me this, they are not giving me this, my life is collapsing, all I do is light work and I'm completely, I don't know what's happening, it's all, I will never achieve. No, don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. But go into that feeling of fear, of despair, of depression, of anxiety, of emptiness, of dependency, of being empty and not whole and complete. Maybe that blame, that expectation, that control, that negative emotional states that are coming in your consciousness. You can go blame the external causes for your darkness within you, or you can understand, oh my God, these expectations, this blaming, this attachment, this dependency on another, this guilt, this blame, this fear is the cause of all my suffering. And it's not them, it's not the world, it's not that I'm not where I have to be in my life. It's within me, you say to yourself. It's missing within me. That's why it's missing in my life. Not to blame. Like, I'm the best that I can be and the worst is happening. Like, God is not just, the universe is not just being a victim. No, but understand, kingdom is within, there's lack within. You are not whole and complete within yourself. You have fears within yourself. You have guilt. And that's why this is happening. You're not ready yet. That's why it's not yet manifested. But you're not really embodying it within. It goes for all of us. You understand? That fear, that insecurity within, that lack consciousness within, that fear is the cause that may lack come out of in our life, and maybe we feel that we do not have what we should have, and then we may be a victim, that we are doing so much and this is not fair. But the dark night of the soul, that experience is just to see that we have fear, that we have lack within us. Survival consciousness, and that's why maybe we do not experience the abundance in our life. And we have nobody to blame. If another one is not giving us love, not giving a fuck about us, but we suffer, all attached, all dependent, we blame, we hate them, we are a victim. No, they are just being instrument of the darkness within us, of dependency, of expectation that we have from them, control, need, of that attachment. And that searching somebody to make us whole and complete and happy, searching love outside of ourselves. And the blame is within you now. Now you are a victim, and guilt. It's just highlighting that the causes are within you. And the other one is just the instrument And we can go in the victim, the blamer for our darkness, and we can see, hey, I'm dependent. I need their energy to make me whole and complete. I'm attached. I want to control them. I expect from them. Now I even blame them for my own darkness. This is within me. This is I have to heal. You have to say like this. We are running from our fears and shit is happening. But we have been following that fear and that's why shit is happening. And now we can blame, oh, everything is, I've been hell like this. Or we can see, no, you followed your fear into that darkness and that's why it is dark. Because you follow your fears and not your courage in your heart. That's why the dark night of the soul appears. So we want to be masters, we have to take responsibility and see that kingdom is within, and just the energies within us are highlighted so that we feel we are afraid, we are attached. There is blame within us, there is expectation, there is control, there is fear, there's attachments within us, dependency. You don't blame it like this, so we can deal with them. So we can release this darkness, because underneath our darkest shadows, our greatest treasures are found, which is courage, power, unconditional love, no expectation, freedom. Freedom with no attachments, complementary love, no control, but accepting, no guilt, no blaming, but accepting ourselves for who we are. And accepting other one who they are. Never try to expect. We don't expect anymore. We don't control. We have no expectations. We lose our blame and guilt, and nobody can make us feel guilty for who we are. And we never try to expect from anybody, try to impose what doesn't feel right to them and expect what they do not do. Because what they do not want to do, because we have dealt with our expectations, with our dependency, with our blame, with our attachments, with our control. And when we heal, we don't control others anymore. We don't expect from others anymore. We are not dependent on them anymore. We don't need to change them. We don't blame them. We love them for who they are because we have no guilt. We are who we are, and we know that we cannot depend on others. Nobody can make us happy. That dependency and attachment only make us that we are whole and complete within ourselves now, that we do not seek somebody to make us whole and complete anymore. It only served as that. You know. Underneath our deepest, darkest pits in the shadows, they are our greatest treasures. And you know, and the darkness just makes us realize that it's not their problem, but we are attached, we depend, we want to control. There's expectation within us. We are not whole and complete, and we depend on energy of others. We are in karma, and it's just that darkness, that depression, that anxiety, that hopelessness is just giving us the direct experience of the energy experience. What in the reality, if there's drama, separation, we do not get what we should think we should have, just showing us the experience of the shadows within us, the reflections, what they are causing. The experience is just the reflection of our attachments, of our guilt, of our expectations, of our control, of our dependency, trying to control others, of our fears, reality and the experience outside with others is just a reflection of that this is within us. And if we want to change the experience, we have to, like I said in this video, work on our inner darkness, to heal it, to release it, so that lack within us, that fear within us, that attachment within us, that dependency within us, that emptiness within us, that expectation, that control, that fear, that beliefs can be released. And we can be in our truth, in our freedom, in our power, in love that we are whole and complete within ourselves, in abundance that we are within. And we all know where we have to work on still much. So that's why I have to take responsibility and then heal this fears, this darkness that's sprouting out. Deal with it. Because when we heal it, we become that love, we become that truth, we become that power, we become that vibration of abundance, that vibration of truth, that vibration of no attachment, no dependency, whole and complete within ourselves, fulfilled from within. Now we are that. Because we have let go of our attachments, our fears, our dependency. And now what others do and situations in our life doesn't affect the wholeness and completion, happiness and joy of the light that we are. You know. So it's just about that. It's just about that. Just about that. So we can let go and be who we are. And that vibration within us, the truth within the kingdom is within. There's no more blame, no more expectations, no more guilt, no more victim mentality, no more fear, no more expectations, control, trauma, no more attachments within. And then our life is to reflect just like that. I have no problem with no woman, no relationship, family members, so beautiful, friends, no drama, relationships, very beautiful. I have no fear, I'm following my heart, I'm being the truth that I am. I'm attached to no one, depend on no one. I have no guilt to be myself and to express myself what doesn't feel right, and my ego is not blaming me for who I am. And I'm not blaming others. I heal that shit. Fear. I follow my heart always. I roar. I never follow my fear. Fear, my ego, is just something barking there behind I am that I am. I don't seek it. I was seeking happiness before and love from others, and was suffering in darkness. The darkness, dark night of the soul, dark nights of the soul taught me about how much it hurts, about how much it's not right. So that I worked on myself, became whole and complete, love, joy, happiness, fulfilled in myself. And that darkness, that experiences with attachments that I suffered so much in, actually made me. And I cried depending on somebody and almost died, suffered. That made me to go on a path to become a master, to become whole and complete within myself and fulfilled. You know, just that experience, that terrible experiences, made me to become whole, loved, whole and complete within myself, happiness and joy that I was seeking outside of myself trying to control and expect, all attached, and I blamed and suffered with no love. It was within me. So it only served all the shit to find the greatest treasures within me. And what I still have to work on, I know that is within me. And I have to let go and heal it. And if reality is facing sometimes, it's just to show me, hey Purna, this is within you. You have to get all aligned with yourself. That's why no blame, not being a victim, but understand it's the reflection of what is not in alignment within myself. What is missing within myself? I didn't find it in myself. That's how we say to yourself. That's how. And that's enough for today. That's how you heal your attachments. You let go of your fears. By not resisting, by working on yourself, by meditating, by not identifying with it. By not being a victim and blaming, but being a master, taking responsibility. Work on yourself. You don't follow them. You have control not to follow your fear, your attachments, your expectations, your blame and all these things, your fears. But you control yourself, you meditate, you work on yourself, you dive deep in your shadow to reevaluate them, to experience them so you can release them. And when they are coming and calling you in your life, your fears, your blame, your attachments, your guilt, fears, expectation, control, you are not following them. You understand now. This is causing me suffering. I have to release this. And by not resisting it, by not identifying it, but choosing something better, but letting them, you let go by not trying to control and resist them and forcefully. Then you make them stronger. But you choose yourself. You choose who you are. In your heart, you choose to follow, not your fear, but courage. Not your attachment, but you choose to work on yourself and free yourself from your attachment. Not to blame others, but see that there's blame within you. Work on yourself. Not to try to control the one you're dependent on and attached. But no, this attachment, this dependency is within me. I have to work on myself to be whole and complete again. Anyway, I'll not repeat the whole video. Still, I hope it brings you a lot of depth, so you can work on yourself, so you can heal and let go of your attachments, of your fears, of your beliefs. But you have to do it by choice, by free will, and nobody can force you. And that's why it gets dark, and that's why it gets painful and dramatic, so that you realize that actually this darkness is within you and is causing that drama and suffering and bad karma. So that it gets evaluated, and in direct experience you can understand this is causing suffering upon me, and you have to let go of free will, or it's like pushing you against the wall, squeezing you. You have to let go. You realize this is cause of my suffering. The experience gets hard and dark, so that the universe cannot force you to let go, but can make everything to inspire you, to motivate you to let go. And only by suffering, by not getting what you expect, by drama, by experiencing that darkness in depression, in anxiety, in direct experience, you can realize that you don't want it, that it's creating suffering in your life, and you can let go of it. And you have to let go of it yourself. And I hope this video helps you to do just that. I have come as far as I have come, only to inspire and motivate, teach others, so they can become greater than I am, more free than I am. And I hope my work helps you. All I want is you to be more enlightened as I am, more free as I am. I want us all to be abundant as we all are. I want us to be enlightened. I want you to be free of your fear, free of your attachment, free of your guilt. And that's what I do here. For you to embody your greatest divine self, your multidimensional self, and let go of that shit. You let go by letting go. If you hold in, you will die. You have to let go so you catch the new breath. Thank you for being part of the Art of the Word That I Am family. See you every day. We are in this together. I do this only for you to be greater as I am. And if anybody feels like you want to support the Art of the Word That I Am, you want to share some donation, if you find some value in my work, if it helps you, but if it really, you feel in your heart that you want to assist my mission, you're assisting my mission so I can be in this world, so I can give out the videos and art, my teachings, poetry, writings, so others can free themselves from the world. And that's how it is. I'm a person who is living on faith and trust in the word that I am. And that's why I appreciate it so much. I'm grateful so much. Every single coin. Without you, I would not be able to give one word that I am. Thank you. I'll never forget. Thank you. From the heart, right hand. And it's Christmas now, and it's a happy season, and like this. And just everything feels like a Christmas gift actually every day. But I'm grateful. Without of you, there would not be no word that I am. Not one word that I am. I'll give you my word. I do. Thank you. And there any blessing in my heart, let it go to you. Sometimes invisible gifts are even more shining and more valuable. But only for those who feel to share something. I'm so grateful. Thank you. But I do white light source healing on every single one who ever offered me a donation. This is my pledge. This is what I say that I'm going to do. And I do. I'm not talk to you, I'll not chat to you, I'll not say anything, because I just see in PayPal that you have given me a donation, a gift, and I connect with your energy. I want to give you something. I don't chat, I don't do messenger, I'm not personal guide, I'm not that kind of a healer. But I connect with your energy. Distance, quantum, white light, source healing, baby. I'm a quite powerful instrument, but you should not praise yourself, so you have to feel my energy. But I'm doing this not, you don't buy this by giving me donation. You give just donation for my work, for my teachings. I do this as a gift, just from my heart. And many get help out of it because they have faith, they work on themselves, some don't. But I just connect with you, my light powerful. On distance, quantum healing, no beyond time and space. You don't need appointment, you don't need to stand still. It's a surprise. I love to give surprise. You will just feel maybe brighter, lighter, and like this. Sometimes people told me, did healing this morning on me? I say, yeah. They felt it. You'll feel better, you maybe think about me. It's a surprise. But I cannot heal you, I cannot do anything actually. You have to work on yourself, to save yourself, to heal yourself. And if you won't let go of your fears, of your attachments, of your expectations, of your control, healing doesn't work, and this video teaching doesn't work because you are suffering in resistance, trying to control, all attached and cannot let go. And maybe you will feel half hour better. But if you cooperate with the process, if you let go of everything where is resistance, you don't try to control it, you don't try to identify it, but you choose something better and you work on yourself, release your attachments, release your fears, you follow your heart, you free yourself, you heal yourself, I can only give you my word. And I give you my word for every donation I do healing on you. With your faith, your work on yourself, and when you really choose to let go of your attachments, your fears, your expectations, that karma, that saves you, that heals you. And all what is needed to release is choice. I choose to let go of this, you say consciously. I not this. And then you stick by the choice. You don't follow it anymore. And you work on yourself to release it. You don't identify with it anymore. And you work on yourself every day to release it. Choice. You release your attachments, your expectations, your guilt, your everything. By free will choice, you choose to release. And then you stick by that choice. And then it takes some time because this attachment may be thousands of years old. If enlightenment is reached this life, I knew, then everything is reached, the greatest gift. And I never expected it. What I said, I work on myself for 20 years in India, listening to masters, meditation, working on myself, shadow work. I only said, if I die a little bit more bright, little bit more healed, and little bit better than I started, my mission is done. And I was just working on myself and meditating and diving deep with no expectation, and I meant it. And that's why enlightenment comes so soon. That's how you do it. With no resistance, with no expectation. How can you let go of expectations if you have expectations about it? How can you let go of your control if you try to control about it? No. It's a process of letting go and releasing. Just meditate for the sake of meditation. Do inner work and healing just for the sake of healing and inner work. And let the universe give the results to you gradually. It will be released day by day, month by month. You just stick to it. Our greatest life are to come. If we just do what is in our heart, we follow our heart, we work on ourselves, we work on our vibration, we release that what is within us, that's blocking us, that attachment, that programs. And everything is to come. We have to surrender the control, the resistance. That's the attachment. Just be and do the best from the heart. And I do the best that I can. I give you my word. And much love and blessings to you. We are in this together. Everybody love now. Let us heal this. Dive deep into your shadows. Release them for the greatest treasures to be revealed as you. Golden child. Diamond child. Namaste. Namaste.